Hi, I'm Michael Buchwalder. You join me here today at Barston Lakes. I've had a cracking day filming, trying some new bits out and pieces out, and this is my big interview. Right, where did it all start? Well, for me, it started at a place called Moat Park Lake in Maidstone in Kent. I was born in Maidstone. My dad worked for a company called Leica, based down there, so that's where it all began. I remember him taking me there. I never really caught anything there, to be fair. I was like proper, he used to take me all the time, and I'd fish with like a lump of bamboo and some string and a safety pins, my first memory, and like everyone was probably just laughing at me. No one ever helped me though, and I went there for weeks and weeks and weeks, and I was determined to catch something because that's the kind of person I am, and I never caught anything there. And eventually I caught my first fish at a place called Abbey Court Lakes, I think, and that's where it all begun for me then, and ever since then it's been an addiction. Three words to describe myself. Right, so a quick think about that. Determined, focused, and friendly. There you go, perfect. How long have I been match fishing? Well, when I started match fishing, God was a little boy. That's how long ago it feels. So I'm 43 now. I probably started match fishing when I was about 13, maybe. Adult matches at 13, so 30 years basically. On and, yeah, 30 years, probably maybe more. What seems like a lifetime ago. My first ever match win, I started out fishing a club called Pottersbury AC, and it was like club matches, maybe 8 to 10 people there most weekends, so I don't really class them as winning a match as such. So I turned 13 or 14, and a guy called Phil Wintle, who was a captain in Milton Keynes, sort of took me under his wing and helped me out a lot. He said, "I've booked you on an open," and we went to the canal at Thedingworth, and there was 60 on it. So it's the first match I've ever like paid to go in properly. And I drew, as things continued, I drew peg 1 on the end peg on the canal. So 13 years old, turned up, fished me match, had £3.14.8, remember it to the day. I thought, that's all right, done really well, walked along, won my section, right bonus. No, won the entire match, first ever match, 60 pegger on the canal. Hadn't won it though, I tied with Phil at 3.14.8, and Phil was quite well off at the time as business. He let me keep all the money, so a couple £100 back then was like winning the lottery to me. So that's my first ever what class proper match win, 13 or 14 years now on the canal at Thedingworth, and that sort of started off a career that sent me to see loads of time on the canal basically, because I loved it. The biggest influence in me fishing, I'm not going to say the normal big superstar names and that me. When I was young, growing up, my mum took me and never fished at all really. She just come and sit with me, and without her I wouldn't be there. But in my early years was my Uncle Sean. He's not really my uncle, he's my cousin, but we used to call him Uncle Sean. And he took me under his wing, and we went fishing loads as kids and that, and I learnt a lot from him. But other than that, it'd be Phil Wintle, who's still fishing now. I think he's won 2 or 3 nationals. Not many people have won more than Phil on national wise. And he was probably my biggest influence really. Drove me everywhere really, taught me, well, without Phil's sort of help I wouldn't be here now really, so without a doubt Phil Wintle. Best match win is without a doubt, most of you'll probably remember the old Drennan Knockout Cup. And in 2013 I lost my dad on May the 8th 2013. The first round was about May the 12th, so he died in Spain. So I flew straight over to Spain, like obviously heartbroken, dealt with my mum, did the funeral, and I weren't going to fly back. The match was on a Monday then, I think, back on a Monday. The funeral was Saturday, so I was just going to stay there. My mum was like, no, you've got to go back. So 2 of my good friends at the time, still are now, Ian Didcott and Les Thompson, sort of spoke to them on the phone, and I went back, and it was a Packington Summers on Molan's, I had a good day, like not brilliant obviously, my head's not in the right place, but I managed to qualify and get through to the next round. So we fished the Drennan Knockout all that year, had some luck on the Thames, caught a bream on the Thames, got to the semi-final at Cobhouse Fishery. It fished ridiculous, myself was in it, Lee Kerry had £500, I was second with 456 I think. Went through to the final at Decoy, spent a lot of time there with Les and Diddy, both helped me fantastically. First day, got really behind after Lee just put a massive performance in using this jigger thing, which I'd never even seen before. So I had loads of scum on my peg, all floated down the edge, and I thought I'm going to get absolutely trolleyed here. And Les had kept saying to me, no, you're going to catch down the edge. So I went long and just had an absolute bagging session, £150 in the last 2.5 hours. Took a massive lead into day 2. Fished for basically silverfish and chub the second day on Mickey Mouse Lake. And I won the Drennan really, and for me that was the biggest match win. My dad had died that year, my head wasn't in the right place, but my mates had put my head in the right place. And I sort of won it for my dad that year, so that was, and it's probably, this will be Alex Bones was editor of Match Fishing at the time, and he did me a big picture that still hangs on my bedroom wall of like a caption of each single match with in memory of Henry Buchwalder. So for me, that's my best match win, definitely. Biggest match weight is what I just mentioned at Cobhouse Fishery. I come second to Lee Kerry, who had I think 513 leaders. I had 456, and it was just ridiculous really. I probably didn't enjoy catching that many fish. I'd rather catch £15 a roach, but £456 a carp, shallow at 6 metres, basically won a chuck. And roach weights I'm sort of more proud of really. I was 21 years old on the Erne in Enniskillen, back in sort of the end of the heydays really. I had 91 kilos, 800 grams of roach, which basically works out at 202 pounds 6 ounces of all roach to hand. So that's my best match weight really for my eyes. The thing I love most about match fishing is the competitiveness. I'm not really very good at going pleasure fishing. I just sort of get bored and start firing ground bait at people and my mates and just being on my phone and stuff. And it's a bit bad really, but I just like the competitiveness of trying to beat people. As males, we're all competitive and I'm reasonably good at fishing, so I just like to win. I like to take home a trophy, put it on the side and think, yeah, I've done that. So that's for me, that's why I go match fishing. But the biggest dislike for match fishing for me is how selfish it is, because it's a real selfish sport. Like, luckily I have a fantastic wife and kids who let me do what I want to do match fishing wise and stuff, but if you have the wrong kind of family background, it's a massive selfish sport. There's not many other sports. You go to golf, you can play around and be home by 10:30 in the morning, but fishing, we're leaving the house mega early, 5, 6 in the morning. We're getting home at 5 or 6 o'clock at night. We're away on festivals, and it does impact time with the family. And a good friend of mine once said to me, don't grow up, or don't let your kids grow up and not know who they are. So that's my big dislike of match fishing, how busy it makes you. What's in my flask? Nothing's in my flask, because I don't carry one because I'm too busy bagging up all the time. Most memorable match for me, probably going in recent years, I suppose. You do forget some of the older ones that you think, oh, I'll never forget that, but you do. Probably last October, World Champs, second day really, drew right in the bay, drew A1, which was like right tucked back in the bay, and I thought it'll either be really good or really bad. It's deep, so I fished away catching, and I've literally 45 minutes in, caught nothing, not a bite, indication, nothing. A good mate of mine who runs the bank for me every World Champs, Roger Baker, behind me, he said, come back here, bud, you're gonna have to start looking at trying to catch these sprats under your thing to get some points, and like maybe the chance of medal's gone. And just as he said that, the tip went and I caught a roach about 10 ounce, and I went, you can poke your little fish. So I sat on that, and I think I had 41 roach for 6 kilo, which won the section. But I remember hooking one, it was quite weedy under your feet, so I'm playing it, and it came up, and it was like a kilo roach, £2, and it come off, and like nearly had a massive moment of Tourette's and proper went to smash my rod up. I thought, no, it's okay, calm down, you're doing the right section. So I chucked out again, it went and I caught one a kilo next chuck. So in recent years, to win a silver medal for me, when, like I say, all the odds are against you on the world champs and that, the fantastic team I've got, my mates and that, that's probably the most memorable one of a long time. Three things I couldn't go fishing without. I couldn't go fishing without my van, because I can't get there and I'm far too lazy to carry it. I couldn't go match fishing without my keep net, because I don't know where to put them. And my phone, because I like to speak to my mates during a match, especially Gaz Lambert. We have a chat all match half the day. Call you back, Gaz, gotta go. Like that. So the amount of bites Gareth Lambert's got me, been awesome. Right, my biggest tip for match fishing success is to surround yourself with people like-minded that fish regularly, that you can bounce ideas off. Like I don't have a massive friend network of people I speak to every day, but I speak to Gaz Lambert, Dean Barlow, Lee Jones, Pete Powell. Surround myself with anglers who think like me, fish like me, and we bounce ideas of each other. I know that if I rung Dean, he'd give me honest advice, and I rung Gaz, the same if they rung me, I'd give them advice. So if I bounce ideas off each other, you're fishing 4 or 5 heads together as one. Although we're not really sharing money and stuff like that, we're sharing information. So 5 heads is always better than 1. So by doing that, you kind of build up around the lake like of what's going on. So that's my biggest success. Get some guys you trust around you, fish with them, and go from there. What's my favourite map product? This is going to shock a few of you. You're all going to expect me to say some great big feeder that can chuck a million miles. I'm actually going to say a MAP 901 pole, because believe it or not, I'm actually a lot better on the pole than I am the feeder. And I've really enjoyed fishing Ireland this year with a 901. Really enjoyed coming to Barston last winter. So I'm going to say the MAP 901 pole, because it's not something I've been ever blessed with, a pole like that. It's kind of sort of, when I got it, it kind of threw me a little bit how good it was. So I'm going to say a 901, and you never know, we might be working on a better one to supersede the 901 in the future, but can't say anything about that now, can we? If I had one day left to go fishing, it's such a simple answer for me, that I'd go and sit on the Erne on about peg 7 on Killardees, drive down Ernie Fisher's driveway onto the Erne, look across Dinishfovar through the double islands where my father-in-law's ashes are spreaded, look to my left, got Horse Island, look up the loch towards Maho and the cliffs of Maho. It's just an amazing place to be there. The waves are massive, all the fish are big, it's just proper wild fishing, and if I'd spend my last day on the bank for a poppy clogs, I'd sign me up for it now. Three best match anglers in my opinion. There's like a ridiculous amount of choice out there, isn't there? Ridiculous. First for me, I remember having followed him quite a bit as a child, probably it's going to be Nuddy. Definitely Nuddy. Going to go Phil Wintle again, just because I just love Phil to bits. And third one, I'm going to go for one of the favourite match anglers, probably Rod Scott, because he's won like 35 festivals in Ireland. There's not many have won that. Maybe Willie Wheeler's the same, but yeah, Roddy wouldn't be far away. The bloke doesn't go fishing half the year. He goes fishing 3 times a year in Ireland and beats most people. I mean, last year he gave Sean a lesson every single day, and Sean's been world champion. So yeah, Roddy, Nuddy and Phil Wintle. Favourite method of fishing for me would be long pole, long lining with roach on the river, proper wild fish, really clever, fishing like 06 hook lengths, 08 mainline, strung out styles. Not done it for a couple of years now since I stopped really going to Evesham, but it's a fantastic way. Loads and loads of skill involved in it. That's probably my favourite way of fishing, really. £15 a roach or £100 a carp? I'd rather catch £1.6 a roach, to be fair, mate. Probably some of the funniest moments for me on the bank were back in my Milton Keynes days when we used to go mob-handed to the Erne, like 20 of us stopping Mahon's Hotel. Used to have such a good laugh, and like we'd sit there, be fishing away, and all of a sudden it'd be a ball of ground bait come flying at you, like on the practice days, messing about. I remember Jeff Armstrong used to, bless him, he's dead now. Jeff used to sit there and we'd fire ground bait him, and all of a sudden it was like on the Mensa scale, 160 IQ, and all of a sudden he'd fire a rock at you, and like if it hit you, it was going to kill you. So like that was funny. But on the same day this all happened, we were on the airport, so I mean, it's Phil Bardell, me, Martin Green, that we're all fishing away and that. And Bagley's like, anyone knows Bagley's like, accident waiting to happen. He's like, oh, I've got bellyache. So I'm like, where is he? Turned around. I've looked behind, there's a rock, and all I can see above the rock is his head. We sat down, dropping one off after about 10 pints of Guinness the night before. So I remember him jumping up, running back to his thing, half wiped his bum properly, going back to his thing. But what he hadn't realised is Martin Green was next to him. When he walked up the bank, Martin's got his line, cut his braid like 50 metres, and wound like 6 turns back on. So Bagley's come back, ready for the big cast. Oh, I've been zebraed. And he sat there, and so this probably to this day now he doesn't realise that he was cut off by Martin. But I've had so many good memories. I remember, Jesus, like some real bad ones. I remember being the day I had £200 a roach. I was being sick in the bush, like drunk as a skunk, got dropped off of me peg, can't remember anything, and still caught £200 a roach. They're some of the best days of your life, going away with your mates and stuff fishing. And like if anyone's not done it, they should really, really think about going and doing them kind of things, because them memories just don't ever leave you. Any other sporting interest? Only football, really. I'd watch most sports on telly, follow Chelsea a fair bit. Not that we're doing very good at the moment, may as well not be following Chelsea at the moment, but I'll watch anything on telly, really. Anything that's competitive on telly. But if there was a sport in eating, I'd be pretty good at that, to be fair. Might try that soon. Last match I fished would have been Feeder Masters final at Tamar a couple of weeks ago. Still gutted about it now. Drew pretty bad first day, got my head down and just caught 357 roach for £33. Second day, drew one off where I wanted to be. It was good peg light. Fished for bits really quickly at the start, caught a load. Then it went a bit iffy, caught some skimmers, and then just cormorants dived and messed my peg up really. But I come third in Feeder Masters, so I can't really moan too much. Next match I've got coming up is a new event this year run by Lee Kerry and Angling Trust. It's a European sort of cup, really, as to put it. There's 10 teams from around Europe coming over here to fish Barson Lake, which is one of the reasons we're here today, doing a practice session and making a film out of it. But I'm really looking forward to it. Got the reigning world champions and probably the best team in the world, without a shadow of a doubt at the moment, is the Hungarians. But just what them guys don't know about fishing is not worth knowing. So I'm really looking forward to this. The Irish team's coming over. We've got a fantastic team. We've got a new lad coming this year, John Brown, who's fished at youth level and he's looking to make the step up. So it's a perfect breeding ground to bring anglers on. So that's really good. Can't wait for that. So let's hope we get a gold medal, or at least a respectable finish, shall we say, in that company. Ambitions for your future. I think as a match angler you're always pretty ambitious. I'm an ambitious person. I've got a bronze medal from the World Club Champs this year in Ireland. I'd like a gold medal in that. I've got a silver individual medal. I'd like to win a gold medal in that, baby, world champions. That's got to be the ambition. I think given half a draw and a bit of luck, it's quite achievable. I was unlucky last year in in Belgium really. Silver was fantastic, so my ambition is to be world champion. But other than that, just enjoy my fishing. Like, we all have stressful jobs, and like, fishing's a release for most of us, so by coming and enjoying it, going away with your mates, so world champion and keep on enjoying my fishing like I do at the moment.